over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
On the back of the announcement and the celebration of football, NPLSA will be investing $50,000 into a coach education fund. $35,000 will be invested into community coach education, which will see 19 courses at club venues and over 500 community coaches. Working closely with clubs to develop and upskill coaches will strengthen the grassroots community, which will obviously benefit the football community as a whole.
It can only be beneficial because most of the clubs, most of the coaches start off just as parents coaching their kids' teams, and they're learning on the job as much as the kids. So this would be perfect because not only would kids be getting coached, the coaches will be getting coached.
As a club, we struggle to attract good coaches, and having this sort of funding coming our way will actually allow us to sort of offer more boys and girls out there to actually coach at the club. Everything comes at a cost these days, and this award presented to our club here again will allow our average parents, supporters, players to the opportunity to come out and actually to take on coaching and to be part of it. They've got a passion about this sport and a passion about this club. They'll be able to come here now, get trained up and actually take on the team and just move forward with us here.
The remaining $15,000 will be invested into a joint initiative with NPLSA, Adelaide United and PSV, where selected coaches and technical directors from South Australia will be given the professional development opportunity to go to PSV in October 2025.
Once you get the bug for the coaching, you love it, and you love seeing the kids improve, especially the connection to your club. You want to see the kids come through at your club, and it's just a win-win for everyone.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
Puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City.
Side this afternoon, Croydon FC in goals. Number 1, Daniel Margush, the captain, back in the lineup today. Number 5, Luke Klimek. Number 7, Maya Hisamoto. Number 8, Adam Martinello. Number 11, Oscar Slattery. Number 15, James Polly. Number 16, Luca Trimboli. Number 17, Passia John. Number 18, Jared Brazale. Number 22, Bolmapur. And number 23, Andre Carl. On the bench for Croydon today, number 4, Thomas Mastrantuone. Number 6, Christopher Vivian. Number 9, Santana Bartkovsky. Number 13, Junior David. Number 14, Ned Stiles. And rounding out the substitutes, the substitute goalkeeper, number 21, Matthew Woith, as the two teams now walk out onto the pitch here at Jeps Cross. So Raiders make 6 changes to the lineup that unfortunately went down here at the Croatian Sports Centre in midweek to Cooks Hill United in the Australia Cup round of 32. So Mushi, Mohaha Wenemana, Laird, Radic, Benvenuto and Matteo all dropping out for Osterstock, Neonkuru, Matakoulas, Zafaridis, Reece Thompson and Vincent Barbaro. And Croydon, 3 changes from the side that drew 2-2 at home to Adelaide City. One of the games of the season, that one down at Regency Park a week ago. And that's Klimek, the captain, Jared Bazale and Andre Karl all coming in. And Vivian Bartkovsky and Junior David all coming out. Our match officials today, referee Daniel Faulkner. He'll be joined by Ibrahim Saidi and Thomas Gilchrist, the 2 assistant referees today. So as we mentioned, Adelaide Croatia Raiders coming into this game off the back of that Australia Cup defeat, but they have won 2 of their last 4 games in the league. A little bit of a turnaround under new head coach Phil Scardino, but still with plenty of work to do if they are to stay up in the REA NPLSA this season. Meanwhile, as I mentioned at the top, Croydon undefeated in 8 league games. They've scored 2 or more goals in 7 of those games as well, including last time out against Adelaide City. But they have drawn their last 2 games in a row as well. And Raiders did win their last league game here against the Mowbray Jets. So by no means is it a foregone conclusion that the team currently second in the table is guaranteed victory here. Moments away as the 2 teams break away from their huddles. And our referee, Daniel Faulkner, kicks us off here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Adelaide Croatia Raiders looking for a huge result in their fight against relegation. And Croydon FC looking to continue their charge towards what is likely going to be a final series. As an early free kick here for the home side. Early chance to cause some chaos in the Croydon penalty area. And Oliver Zafaridis back in the team today. Stands over it. Away by Martinello. All the way back to Vincent Barbaro. This is Philemon Uweneza. Ball into Matakoulas, who is taken down by Bolmaport. Another free kick in a promising position for the home side. Croydon did win the encounter back in round 8 when these 2 teams met. 3-2 it was in the end as Raiders look to go forward here again. Neonkuru back to Zafaridis. Great ball into Neonkuru. He's got some space here. Neonkuru can't find a teammate. It's dropped for Reece Thompson. Philemon Uweneza cutting back inside. Slattery does well to hold him up. Matakoulas. And again off Slattery, but this time for a corner for the Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Good start by the home side. Will be another in-swinging delivery potentially here from Zafaridis. Neonkuru is there for a short corner if needed. In by Zafaridis and at the back post. think it was Jack Osterstock who made good contact on the volley, but it's well over the crossbar. George Shonas and his Croydon team up against it to start this game. The first few minutes, they'll get a chance to get on the ball here from this goal kick. Brazale goes long. Toriani wins it in the air. Bit of pinball in the midfield. Launched forward by Klimek. Carl pokes it forward, but Zafaridis mops it up. So as I mentioned, 3-2 for Croydon it was when these two teams met back in round 8. Raiders actually came from behind in that game, 2-0 down, and then 2 goals either side of half-time got them level. But it was Maya Hisamoto, starting, of course, again today for Croydon, who scored the winner. He scored twice in that game. Zafaridis clearing again. Klimek will go long on the throw-in towards Andre Karl. Neither team really getting their foot on the ball as of yet. Brazale knocks it forward. Toriani's got to be careful, but in the end, comfortable nod back to his goalkeeper. And now Raiders can break forward. Uwaneza. Matakoulas. Faces forward. Looks to find Neon Kuru. It's a good ball, but the youngster's just straight offside there. Isaac Matakoulas with that pass there in the team today. And heavily involved in these opening stages. It's only his 4th appearance this season for Raiders. He has notched a goal and an assist already. Margush goes long on the goal kick this time. Osterstock. First little glimpse there, Joshua Zagarnik. Getting near the ball there, was very lively in the opening stages here in midweek against Cooks Hill United. Raiders almost pulling off what seemed to be an insurmountable comeback in that game. Of course, still without some key players at the moment as well. Raiders, Anthony Costa, Jai King-Byrne. Main ones that spring to mind, mainly because they're actually among the top goal scorers for Raiders in the league this season. That pass by Toriani can only find the touchline. James Polly, starting left back today for Croydon. Of course, Polly was instrumental for Adelaide Olympic last year in their bid to try and avoid the drop. Margush goes long again. And Slattery almost brings it down, but his touch is too heavy. And Zafaridis, once again, is there to mop up for Raiders. Long ball into Matakoulas, but Brazale gets the better of him this time. And he goes sliding in on Luke Klimek, who doesn't really react to that tackle, and we play on, says Daniel Faulkner. Yuto Ikeda. Raiders playing it out of the press here. Reece Thompson. Blazeka, and now Neon Kuru can face forward. Beautiful football by the home side. Osterstock. Osterstock surveying. Matakoulas, and his touch can't find anyone on the edge of the area. It's still now with Osterstock. And Raiders will get another corner, this time on the far side. And it will be Jack Osterstock with an outswinger here for Raiders. Plenty of numbers up here. A few players waiting on the edge of the area as well. They do go short in the end into Nyonkuru. And in the end, it's a wasted opportunity for the home side. Hisamoto mops that up. Nyonkuru forced to go back. Toriani into Zaganek, who's pressed by two players and forced into an error. Launched forward towards Luca Trimboli. He's yet to really get a sniff of it so far, but he does force Barbaro into an errant kick that goes out for a Croydon throw. And the throw in towards Slattery, but Ikeda does well to shield it out. Raiders will have a goal kick. Here comes the Croydon press from that goal kick. Forces an error. Moments ago, Raiders, that was some excellent build-up play to play out of that Croydon press at that time. Ends up with the away side. Slattery, stood up by Uwaneza. Stands it up towards the back post. Passia John knocks it down, and Hisamoto deflected. Back to Passia John, who can only strike wide of the right post. Early warning sign there for the hosts as they play out again, and here comes that Croydon press again. Uwaneza into Zaganek, closely tracked by Bolmapur. Raiders play out of the press well again. Zafaridis. Long down the line looking for Matakoulas. Gets the better of Brazale. Matakoulas cuts it back towards Zaganek, but it's cleared. Zafaridis looks for Nyonkuru, but ball trickles out of play. Very animated, in front of a very animated George Sonis there. A couple times that Croydon press has been played through by Raiders early on. I doubt the Croydon head coach will be too happy with that. Margush looked like he was going to go long and then left the ball for Bolmapur. And his pass is just wide of Passia John, and Raiders can break forward again. Osterstock flips it over. Zaganek is in behind here. Great save by Daniel Margush. And Croydon clear their lines. Huge opportunity that for Joshua Zaganek. Lovely ball by Osterstock just to clip it over the Croydon backline. Raiders maybe growing in some confidence here. Reece Thompson. Yuto Ikeda on the ball now. Looks to drive forward. Zafaridis finds Osterstock, but his touch lets him down. Raiders looks like they're operating with that back three system again, which they actually used during the week against Cooks Hill United. You're seeing Osterstock and Uwaneza, kind of the wing backs in this system. Margush forced to clear it long. Comes all the way back to Yuto Ikeda. Toriani's pass is picked off by Bolmapur. Slattery. Looked maybe like there was an opportunity to go forward there for Croydon, but they recycle. Hisamoto, nice touch. Releases Klimek, who lofts it into the penalty area towards Carl. Drop down, Toriani clears. Hisamoto looks to work an angle for a shot. Comes out to Passia John, who once again blazes wide of the target. Pretty opening 13 minutes to this one. Both teams with some good chances. Passia John with a couple of efforts now that have gone wide of the target. Of course, Passia John is Croydon's top scorer in the league this season with 9. This time Barbaro goes long on the goal kick. Paul picks it off, but it ends up with Blaseka. Osterstock trying that clip ball again. Zagarnik. Almost in behind again then. And now Slattery. Croydon come the other way. He's got some space here. But the pass is overhit and Trimboli can't get on it. That's disappointing by the young Croydon winger. Give you a little bit of an update around the grounds in a moment. Raiders just try and play through once again. Of course, we did have an earlier game today which started at 2:30 between Adelaide City and Para Hills. Wineza to throw it in. To Zagarnik. Matakoulas tries to hold that ball up again against the strength of Bolmapore. Polly nods it back inside. Croydon can get the ball down and play. Brazale, Zagarnik leading a one-man press here for Raiders. And Neon Kuru forces the error. It's excellent work by the two young forwards for Raiders, forcing the error, and now they can look to build another attack. Zagarnik, Neon Kuru, Matakoulas, back to Neon Kuru, stands it up to the back post, but no one is there, and the wind actually holds it up for a moment. But Margush easily claims. Daniel Margush, of course, former Adelaide United, Western Sydney Wanderers goalkeeper, vastly experienced, brings a lot of quality to this Croydon side. Toriani after the Polly giveaway. And it's a great ball here for Neon Kuru. It's Donite and Neon Kuru. Once again, the cross is overhit. Andre Carl. Nice pass inside to release some space for Hisamoto here. But Toriani once again stepping in. Raiders looking to break forward again. Zagarnik that time goes a little bit early. And our assistant referee here on the near side, Tom Skilchrist, raised his flag for offside. We will give you that around the grounds update. Thank you to One World LED and Sportal Scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. So Adelaide City are 2-0 up against Para Hills. Almost half-time there at Adelaide City Park. And they've also gotten underway just across the road from here at Service FM Stadium. Adelaide United still 0-0 with Campbelltown as Croydon break forward. Andre Carl. Some space for Slattery on the left-hand side. Back for Carl. Andre Carl trying to manoeuvre his way through. And there was a half-hearted appeal for a penalty there. Very swiftly waved away by Daniel Faulkner. Didn't seem like there was much in that from my angle. Croydon get us back underway. Nothing comes of the throw-in, though. Of course, there's a link as well. Phil Scardino with Croydon. Of course, took over Raiders on the verge of that Cup semi-final against FK Beograd. But last year he was actually in charge of Croydon's reserve side, which finished as minor premiers in the regular season, finishing top, and did make the grand final of the reserves comp last year too. So an interesting nugget of information there. Here's Luca Trimboli. Slattery. Back into Trimboli. Some space maybe for Luca Trimboli. But once again, like pass here, John. Moments ago, he blazes well over the crossbar. Vincent Barbaro, once again, playing it short out of the goal kick. Polly touched tight on Uwaneza, and he comes away with it, but then gives it straight back. Croydon really squeezing Raiders on these goal kicks. Sagarnik takes a quick throw in. Matakoulas, don't think he knew too much about it. Thompson does well to evade the challenge of Trimboli. And Toriani looks to release Osterstock. And he does. Great touch as well by the wing back, but his ball in behind is not so good. Uwaneza drives inside. Zagarnik, one-on-one with Bolmapur. And the defender comes out victorious. Strong challenge there. And he actually ends up winning the goal kick. Excellent defending there by Bolmapur. Been very, very consistent for Croydon this season. Another long ball attempted from the goal kick, which bounces aimlessly out of play. Croydon, of course, we mentioned a couple times that they're on this unbeaten run at the moment. They have only won 2 of their last 5 away league games. They actually have had a lot of games at home of late. Of course, last time out got a draw at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre against Campbelltown. Uwaneza lumps it forward, looking for Neon Kuru, and the ball almost bounced over Margush there. Of course, we haven't mentioned yet the conditions, and the rain has definitely died down. Felt like yesterday in particular here in Adelaide, the rain was just bucketing all day. Skarnik looked like he had straight offside there, but linesman kept his flag down. Andre Carl turns away from Noah Blaseka and wins the free kick. But definitely felt like in this last hour or so, the skies have cleared a little bit. Of course, Raiders are blessed that they have a pitch here at the Croatian Sports Centre that is arguably the best in terms of drainage in the state. Holds up very well in the heavy rain. Right now, it looks like it's not affecting the football at all. Good game so far between these two sides. Desperate for a result for different reasons, of course. Isamoto dropping much deeper to get on the ball this time. Poor pressed by Zagarnik, forces the error. It's back with Uwaneza into Thompson, and Raiders can reset. Great pass by Zafaridis. Reece Thompson in an acre of space for a while there, and now he can face forward and play. Looks for Neon Kuru. Flag stays down. Neon Kuru, Osterstock. It's across for Zaganek. And the ball was just slightly behind him. And as he leaned back, he's only going to generate height on that effort. And that was the end result, high and wide. Both the Croydon defenders, I think it was Brazale and Bolmapore, misjudging that cross. Very open first quarter of an hour here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Margush forced long again. Toriani again winning the aerial duel. It's been a good start to the game for him. Zafaridis just momentarily almost lost control there. Blazeka wins it back. Nyonkuru. Maybe a question of a foul, but Croydon come away with it. Adam Martinello on the ball now. Space for Polly on this left-hand side. Mapor looks for Andre Carl, and Toriani once again gets the better of the striker, and Matakoulas is once again released on the counter-attack. Poor touch inside, and Bolmapor once again cleans up for Croydon. So Raiders, since Phil Scardeno took over, they've played 6 games under the new coach, and they've won 3 in all competitions, that is. So definitely improved the mood here at Jepp's Cross as Zaganek looks to release the cross into the middle, but it's well overhit. And if anyone that keeps track of these sorts of stats, the overall First Division head-to-head between these two clubs is quite close. Raiders have won 45 meetings and Croydon 39. 104 times they've played. Very first meeting coming all the way back in 1960. Zaganek. Lovely feet by the winger. Wins the free kick. Thompson gets the ball on the deck and he releases Osterstock early. It's been a very open outlet on that left-hand side for Raiders so far, Jack Osterstock. Zafaridis brings it back inside. Releases Uwaneza on this near side. Looks to cut inside. Into Zaganek, but his first touch lets him down. And Slattery comes away with it. And that'll be a Croydon throw. Just both teams, so far they've had promising moments, but there has been a little bit of that disconnect in the final third, that final pass. James Polly will get us back underway. Reece Thompson wins it back, and there's space here for Nyonkuru. Chips it over towards Matakoulas. Klimek is pressed by Osterstock. Comes off the Raiders player, another Croydon goal kick. Definitely that front three, Nyonkuru, Matakoulas and Zaganek, causing some chaos in this opening 25 minutes or so. Croydon play out of the Raiders press this time. It's good football. Klimek inside to Hisamoto. They continue to build the attack down the right-hand side. Good pass by Passia John, and look at the space now for Adam Martinello. John continues his run, but the pass from Martinello is a bit too narrow, and you could see Passia John just throw his hands in the air as soon as that pass was played, he knew he wasn't going to get there. Ends up committing the foul. So Croydon, one of the best attacks in the league as they force the error from Barbaro. That's the second time that's happened in this first half. But Croydon, goals not an issue for them whatsoever. For Raiders, that's definitely been a significant issue. Just the 21 scored so far this season. Klimek brings the ball inside. It's deflected on towards Carl. And mopped up by Ikeda. And Neonkuru spins out of danger there. And now he's driving towards goal. Donny Neonkuru looks to cut it across. Matakoulas was at the back post, but Bolmapur is in the way. Slattery touches inside towards Trimboli. And Reece Thompson just slid in late, but we play on. Slattery engages Ikeda. And it comes off the defender, and Croydon will have a corner. Very, very end-to-end. Minute or so there. Looks like it will be Maya Hisamoto to whip this corner in. Croydon only two back for them. Lapor's up, Brazale's up, Trimboli, Carl. Good ball in, and almost solid connection with the header. It's up in the air, might drop for Passia John. Still with Passia John. And it's deflected. And now Matakoulas can keep it in for Raiders. Straight to Polly. Isamoto with a bit of a lackadaisical touch. Martinello looks to release John. Thompson can't clear it. It's Passia John, who will just let it run as it came off the Raiders player last. Another corner for Croydon. George Sonis' side with a good little spell here. And it will be Luca Trimboli, the left footer, another in-swinging corner. Martinello's on. Martinello and Hisamoto wait on the edge of the area, unmarked. Slattery trying to put some pressure on Barbaro. Whipped in by Trimboli, and Barbaro is forced to tip it over. But no, Daniel Faulkner says that the goalkeeper didn't get the last touch there. Might have come off the top of the crossbar. Almost an Olympico there by Luca Trimboli. Toriani goes long towards Neonkuru. And Polly gets the better of the young winger that time. Neonkuru, probably Raiders' most exciting attacker. The 7 goal contributions in 18 games for him in the league this season. Definitely been a threat so far. Lapor's pass is to no one in particular, and Nuaneza steps in. Is Adam Martinello dropping next to his centre backs and releasing Klimek, who went higher, but the pass skids off the surface. Looked like Luke Klimek was thinking about meeting that ball a little earlier, and as soon as he let it bounce, he knew that that was going to skid off the surface. Of course, there is that residue in the surface from all the rain we've had. Here's Osterstock for Raiders. Driving past Klimek and into the central area. And now Zaganek. Neonkuru lurking at the back post. Matakoulas getting up there too. And Jared Brazale stops the young winger in his tracks. Excellent defending. Excellent last-ditch defending by the two Croydon centre halves in the first half an hour here. Here's Barbaro. Raiders playing out of trouble. Osterstock once again with space on that far side. This time Klimek steps in and Croydon are back on the ball. Martinello. Martinello again. Isamoto. Back to Mapor. Isamoto again. Croydon patiently building this attack. Polly looking for Slattery. Cater steps in. Yuto Cater, 18. He's played in every single one of the Adelaide Croatia Raiders league games this season, ever present in that back line. Isamoto. Of course, in much deeper position that he's picking up the ball so far. That pass from Martinello is easily picked off by Toriani, and Thompson spins away from Isamoto. Looks to release Matakoulas. Here's Matakoulas looking for Zaganek. Great first touch. Joshua Zaganek. Great save by Daniel Margush. Came rushing off his line nice and early. Zaganek's first touch was actually pretty good. But the former A-League goalkeeper got the better of the youngster on that occasion. Excellent save. That's two very, very promising opportunities for Joshua Zaganek in this first half for the Adelaide Croatia Raiders, who take the quick short corner again. Neon Kuru. Osterstock with space. And Thomas Gilchrist, the linesman on our near side, actually had his flag up. The Croydon players trying to point it out to our referee Daniel Faulkner, and yep, that will be an offside decision. So it was when Neon Kuru flicked that ball back to Osterstock on the 1-2. The corner taker had drifted offside. Blazeka wins it in the air. Zaganek tightly marshalled. Akeda into Uwaneza. It was actually Neon Kuru, who then looked for Uwaneza, and Polly won it again. Ooh, Thompson sliding in late again. Definitely no malicious intent, just trying to get the timing of those challenges right. Here's Jared Brazale. Of course, Brazale and Mapor, that wasn't the defensive pairing last time out against Adelaide City. Christopher Vivian started next to Mapor, but he drops out today. Mapor has been the consistent force in that back line, though. 17, this is his 18th appearance today. 17 before this, of course. Brazale and Vivian were essentially interchanged with forming that defensive pairing with him. Here is Brazale. Starting to feel like one of those games where the first goal is really going to go a long way to deciding who comes away with the points. Polly looks to whip it in. Uwaneza gets in the way. Philemon Uwaneza, this is his 7th appearance of the season. Playing in that right wing back role. Isamoto. Toriani once again steps in but Thompson is dispossessed. And then Trimboli overhits the pass. There's been a lot of that so far, overhit passes. Just that little bit of polish from both teams lacking at the moment. Nyonkuru, lovely little touch for Uwaneza, who brilliantly steps inside, and that's a great pass for Osterstock, who's just about going to get there and keep it in. Carl slides in on Zafaridis, and in the end comes off the striker. Andre Carl, much more quiet season, you could say, this time around so far. Of course, he was Croydon's top scorer in the league last time out with 12. Just the 4 so far this season. Carl, of course, very prolific before he came here over in the Capital Football Premier League in the ACT. And really took like a duck to water immediately in Croydon colours. Still yet to see too much of him so far, though. Here's Bolmapore. Looks to release Klimek, but that was well overhit. And that's kind of the issue that Croydon are facing a bit more in this last 10 minutes. Raiders really remaining very solid defensively, getting every man behind the ball, blocking the gaps of which Croydon want to play through. Toriani, again with that ball for Uwaneza down the line. That's been an outlet so far for Raiders. And then Osterstock is once again completely free on the far side. First touch is good enough. Looks to drive past Passia John. Picked off by Klimek. Brazale clears. And Croydon play it out of the pressure. Trimboli holding the ball up against Zafaridis. Toriani sweeping again. Centre backs for both sides. Toriani just about to give him a compliment, and he almost gave the ball away, but Trimboli a little bit over-eager, giving away the free kick. Toriani does give the ball away on the resulting free kick, though. Ikeda being pressed by Slattery. Gets a huge shout from his teammates of man on, and Raiders work their way out of it. Mapore steps in on Nyonkuru. Driving forward. Slattery, space to cross. Mapore, first touch, lets him down, drops for Andre Carl. It's Passia John. Can he work an angle for a shot? Passia John. Toriani steps in the way. Continuing his excellent first half from a defensive standpoint. Crucial block there. Barbaro, as you would have seen him behind, had dived. He was ready for a shot on target. Luke Klimek going over to take this corner now. It's actually a throw-in, my bad. It's right near the corner flag. Passia Johns looking to stand up Osterstock in the penalty area. Comes back for Klimek. And Croydon will get that corner now. Entering the final stages of this first half. Bring you another Around the Grounds update. Thank you to One World LED and Sportal Scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Adelaide United have taken the lead against Campbelltown over at Service FM Stadium. So 1-0 for Adelaide United as Trimboli whips in a deep corner towards the back post, but it's overhit. Again, clearly a tactic on those in-swinging deliveries from Trimboli to try and get it maybe underneath the goalkeeper at the back post. If you get those deliveries right, it can cause some issues for the goalkeeper. Barbaro goes directly to Osterstock. Once again, free as a bird. Defensive work by Trimboli to force the throw-in. Here's Hisamoto with a bit of space. Trimboli. Toriani steps out. And almost helps Matakoulas win the ball back. Toriani's been absolute menace defensively in this first half. Here's Adam Martinello. Do wonder if George Sonis, what he's thinking in terms of, as Brazale is, it's actually Martinello who was pressed there by Zaganek. Croydon just caught, maybe moving the ball a little bit too slowly on that occasion, triggering that press from Raiders. But in terms of attacking options for Croydon, main one on the bench is Santana Bartkowski. George Sonis feels like a change is needed. Klimek launches the ball into Trimboli, knocks it down for Carl, and now it's James Polly with a bit of space. Polly, space for Passia John, and Carl will hit it first time. Might drop for Trimboli, cleared away by Ikeda. And Raiders look to counter potentially. Uneza with a bit of space. And now Reece Thompson back on the ball. Nyonkuru looks to go in behind. And then he comes short towards the ball. Been a while since Raiders have been able to get some comfortable possession. Croydon definitely have upped their intensity off the ball here. John forces the long ball. Blaseka wins the second ball. Launches it towards the Garnek and it drops for Osterstock. His pass looks for Nyonkuru. And once again it's overhit. Easy pickings for Daniel Margush. So, offensively, both of these teams, Croydon conceded 27 goals this season. Raiders with the 33, so not too much of a drastic difference. It's obviously in the goal-scoring department where Raiders have really lacked so far this season. Not helped by Anthony Costa not being available. Of course, today he's the equal top scorer with Donati and Nyonkuru. As we head into stoppage time of this first half, Toriani heads long. Lepore wins it again. And Carl nods it down for Adam Martinello. Is there time for one last attack in this first half for Croydon? John's pass is poor, and actually it might launch a counter-attack for Raiders here. Thompson, great pass for Zaganek. He's got plenty of space on that far side, but his first touch lets him down. Wonder if that'll be a source of frustration for Phil Scardino at half-time. They've had their moments in behind and to counter-attack have Raiders, but just that first touch or that final pass is letting them down. Or, in a couple of cases, Daniel Margush has stood up strong with some brilliant saves. As our referee, Daniel Faulkner, brings first half proceedings to a close here at the Croatian Sports Centre. The deadlock yet to be broken between the Adelaide Croatia Raiders and Croydon FC. Hasn't been for a lack of trying from both sides. Croydon with a few efforts that have gone wide of the target. Daniel Margush, meanwhile, has kept them level with a couple of big saves, particularly off young Joshua Zaganek as well. But that will do for the first half here at the Croatian Sports Centre. And we'll be back right after this break with the second half as both of these teams look for a crucial 3 points.
over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
What I'm excited about the most, how we can come together, learn about everybody, because we're not the same, but we're somehow the same.
The community came to government to express their concerns about young people. It is our role to listen and it's our role to act.
There's so many kids wanting to play the game from all walks of life.
African Youth Program was established to help Africans with sport, cultural identity, mentorship.
Having a program that's going to target the African children, given it's their sport of choice, presents a huge opportunity to link participation in football with education, which is a perfect thing.
I think the African Youth Program will be a very inclusive program with different teams, different schools coming to play with us.
It's like a very big opportunity to expand skills, knowledge, and in different areas of life.
Most of the kids will grow from this program to be able to become valuable, positive contributors in our society.
Like a voice to be spoken with and not being scared to show your skills.
This empowerment program has many different aspects to it, and of course sport is one of those, but it's actually really about finding your place in the world.
I think everybody's pushing in the one direction to make sure that we can make a real difference.
It's not just a game, it's a very passionate sport that millions of people around the world love to play. That's what football is.
Puts in the penalty and wins wins the grand final for Campbelltown City.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
It's deemed as an Italian club. That's a bit fictitious. They called it Salisbury Internationale because that's what it was. It was full of internationals from all walks of life, and it continues to be that. Obviously we had an Italian background, right, but throughout the 50 years, it's been a big dynamics, and it's still changing, so it's great.
I think it's an exciting opportunity. Obviously the new State League 2 system, got the North and South, and I think the final series is definitely something that we want to be a part of and want to be involved in, so it's definitely an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, when I seen State League 2 North, I was all over it. I don't want to travel at all, so I was all about it. Wife was all about it.
Always been a northern boy. I'm 30 seconds down the road. Played for this club for 4 years a while ago, and it's just my family as well, been here as well, so it means a lot.
Everyone around the club's been so welcoming. All the people on the committee and around the club were so nice from day one, and same with the players. Got some nice experienced players out here who are really nice and welcoming to some of our younger players, so that's been really nice to have.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Coles Mini Roos is more than just football. It is a place to find our feet, learn new skills and meet new friends. Football starts here. Find your place. Join our team.
For Scamitzi against Ulash. Still trying to win against Scamitzi. Oh, and a save with the legs from Delangus. A space to run into. Amanda has one in the centre. Does reach him. Needs to find the angle for the hit. Oh. And it's a good save by Woodlands. Taking it out for a corner.
Even better save this one than the previous one.
Stem as well. Yeah. Oh, Signorello, what a save! He puts a fist behind it and sends it for a corner.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
Welcome back to this round 19 RAA NPLSA fixture between Adelaide Croatia Raiders and Croydon FC. Still without a goal here at the Croatian Sports Centre between these two sides, as both teams go through their final paces as we get ready for the second half. Not without lack of trying. Joshua Zagarnik for Adelaide Croatia Raiders with their two best chances in the first half, both times thwarted by Daniel Margush in the Croydon goal. For Croydon, Passia John had a couple of efforts that he would have wanted to do better with, unfortunately missing wide of the target. So, although it is 0-0, it hasn't been without its opportunities and interest this game so far. In terms of the standings on the league table, of course, coming into today, the Metro Stars did have the opportunity to secure the premiership this evening against the Modbury Jets, regardless of Croydon's result here. But a draw here for Croydon will mean that Metro only need a point against Modbury later on to secure the premiership. So a Croydon win, though, means that Metro will need to win. And George Sonis' team are going to go into this second half with the ambition to do just that, as Martinello with an early release from the kickoff, and immediately it's ended up back in the possession of Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Here's Jack Osterstock once again with plenty of space facing forward on this left-hand side. That was a feature of the first half. Mapor steps out. And it's back with Osterstock, and now Matakoulas drifting over to this near side. Takes on Klimek. It's Isaac Matakoulas still with it. And he's going to stay in play for a throw-in. Looks like Osterstock will take that throw-in. As you mentioned at the top, Croydon currently on that 8-game unbeaten run. They want to keep that going. Raiders have had much better league form as Klimek wins the free kick there against Matakoulas. Raiders have had much better league form under the stewardship of Phil Scardino since he replaced Vlado Blaseca as the head coach. Still, though, embroiled in that what seems to be 3-team relegation battle with Marlborough Jets and Para Hills. And, of course, Para Hills are behind at the moment over at Adelaide City Park to Adelaide City, but Marlborough Metro with a keen interest in this game due to Croydon. Marlborough Jets with a keen interest in this game, of course, with Adelaide Croatia Raiders being one of their main adversaries in that relegation battle. Here's Martinello shielding the ball away from Zaganek, and yeah, the youngster was a little bit over-eager there. Gives away a free kick. Brazale. We'll actually give you an update around the grounds to start the second half, thanks to One World LED and Sportal Scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Adelaide City are actually 4-1 up now at Adelaide City Park against Para Hills. It's about 20 or so minutes to play in that game. Of course, that kicked off at 2:30. And I assume the second half is just about to get underway across the road at Service FM Stadium. Adelaide United are 1-0 up against Campbelltown. Croydon just dangerously trying to play out of this press. Polly goes long for Andre Carl, and he fouls Marco Toriani. Toriani, definitely one of the standouts in that first half for Raiders. He's got the better of Andre Carl in a lot of duels so far. Raiders go long for the free kick. John knocks it down for Hisamoto, and Mapor clears. Nyonkuru looks for Uwaneza, and it's overhit. Of course, if you're wondering as well, the 5 o'clock game today between FK Beograd and Adelaide Comets has been postponed, and that will be taking place on Monday at 7:30 instead. Of course, the weather has cut up the pitch, you'd imagine, there at Frank Mitchell Park. Here's Uwaneza looking to work an angle for a cross against Polly. Back to Nyonkuru, whips it in, Mapor clears. Ikeda steps in front of Carl, and Raiders come away with it again. Nyonkuru. Zafaridis. Into Reece Thompson. Looks for the 1-2 with Zaganek, and Brazale steps in, but now it's with Matakoulas. Klimek took the risk in sliding in, but our referee Daniel Faulkner had no issue with the challenge. Ball launched toward Andre Carl, knocks it down, but to none of his teammates. Raiders clear. There was a bit of this in the first half. Ball being pinballed up in the air between either team. Great first touch by Oscar Slattery. Gets past Uwaneza, and then Nyonkuru, the youngster, tracking all the way back. That's excellent. And now Matakoulas can release Blaseca, who can release Joshua Zaganek, and Raiders are in here. It's Zaganek. Brazale comes across. It's Joshua Zaganek cutting inside. It's Noah Blaseca. And Margush tips it on to the crossbar. And Bolmapore comes away with it. Noel Blaseka, he was wheeling away momentarily there in celebration. He thought that was going to loop over Daniel Margush, but it's another brilliant stop by the Croydon goalkeeper. And right now, he's definitely been the busier of the two goalkeepers in this game. Zafaridis looks for the long release for Uwaneza, but it's overhit. Excellent build-up play as well by the home side in that last attack. Matakoulas has really got through a big shift so far in this game, dropping that ball off to Blaseka, and then Zaganek has been a willing runner all day. Polly stabs it forward. Passia John. Klimek, and Passia John's going to run into the open space ahead of him, and Klimek will just feed it forward. Passia John for Croydon. One-on-one with Zafaridis, being urged to take him on. Great reverse pass into Adam Martinello. Great save by Vincent Barbaro. Here's James Polly. Now it's Croydon's turn to knock on the door. Hisamoto, Polly, Uwaneza does enough to disrupt the cross. Polly again, but his touch is overhit. And Raiders will have a goal kick. That was a superb pass by Passia John in the build-up to that last attack. Little reverse ball to release Martinello in behind. It's tough on that tight angle. Barbaro had his angles well covered. Toriani looks at Uwaneza. Mapor stepping in again. And he's going to keep going here, Bolmapor. Toriani with the challenge, and Daniel Faulkner deems it was an unfair one by Marco Toriani on Bolmapor. Did look like he might have got the ball there, Marco Toriani. Just watching replay, and no, he was late there on a second view. And this is a really promising position for Croydon. We've got Luca Trimboli over it. Luke Klimek and Maya Hisamoto are gathering around as well. So will it be the left foot of Trimboli or the right foot of Hisamoto? Looks like it will be one of those players, given the way they're lining up with the ball. No draft excluder for Raiders either underneath the wall. It will be Maya Hisamoto into the wall. Drops back for Trimboli, who has the follow-up effort on his right foot. A weaker right foot, as shown there by that effort. Well over the crossbar. And there have been some goals around the grounds as well, thanks to One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. Adelaide City are now 5-1 up at Adelaide City Park. And Adelaide United have doubled their lead against Campbelltown. A big result happening there in the top 6 race as Passia John wins this ball and has a wild effort blocked by Noel Blaseka. Croydon building their case here for an opening goal. Here's Brazale. Launches it towards Andre Carl. Ikeda steps in front. And that header has actually launched the counter-attack here for Raiders. Neon Kuru. Matakoulas is up with him. Neon Kuru with the early ball. Zaganek making his way to the back post, and Klimek saw it out all the way, but came off the captain last. Daniel Faulkner points to the corner flag. It's a good result for Raiders in the end. Luke Klimek, Mr. Croydon, dealing with that last attack by the home side. It will be Jack Osterstock over this corner for the home side. It's probably going to be an outswinger for Raiders. Osterstock, he actually lofts it in, and coming in was Toriani, and standing his ground very, very well was Andre Carl to clear the danger. Toriani coming in late, giving away a free kick. Here's Andre Carl again. Hisamoto nudges it forward. Continues his run. Hisamoto. Passia Johns joining the attack on this near side. Zafaridis does well to cut off the pass. So we'll keep an eye on what both coaches look to do in terms of substitutions in this second half. Raiders with a couple of dangerous attacking options in Paul Radic and Stefan Mateo, who actually started during the week against Cooks Hill in the Australia Cup. In fact, every player who is starting on the bench today for Adelaide Croatia Raiders did start in midweek against Cooks Hill United. So, not too sure if that was pre-planned by Phil Scardino. Toriani back to Barbaro, launches it high in the air. Polly nods it down, and Hisamoto loses out to Reece Thompson, and now Raiders can break forward. Blaseka looks to release Neon Kuru. That was a theme of Raiders play in the second half in particular, midweek, trying to feed their attackers with those longer passes in behind. This is a little bit helter-skelter for Croydon playing out. And Raiders do win it. Uwineza. Ikeda. Toriani with a long switch to Osterstock. Good ball and a good first touch. Blaseka. Zagarnik, lovely pass. Osterstock, he could be in here. Jack Osterstock, great block by Mapur. And Klimek clears. I think it was Zagarnik with the touch there to release Osterstock. Lovely bit of play by the youngster. And you could just see Osterstock and Bol Mapur in a race. Who was going to get there first? And Mapur got himself in the way of the effort. Here's Passia John driving through the center of the pitch. Reece Thompson steps in front and wins the ball. Osterstock. Back to Zafaridis, and Luca Trimboli tackles the ball out of play. Trimboli, 8 goals for him so far this season. And he actually has featured in every game for Croydon as well. Brazale clears the ball forward. Zagarnik can't disguise the handball there. Croydon wasting no time with the free kick. Slattery held up by Uwineza. Looks to get by him. Slattery cuts the ball back to Trimboli. Toriani once again wins the ball back. And that's a long ball by Blaseka. Very similar to the one that we saw moments ago. Looking for Neon Kuru, looking for Zagarnik that time. Once again, it's overhit. Raiders somewhat feeding on scraps at the moment, their attackers. Croydon starting to assert some control in this game. Klimek. Launched high in the air. Passia John's outnumbered here by 2 defenders. And the Raiders players come away with it. And Reece Thompson, there's space here for Zagarnik. It's a great ball by Reece Thompson. Zagarnik. Brazale coming across. Matakulas and Neon Kuru in the middle. Mapur cuts out the cross once again. Lack of end product plaguing some of these Raiders attacks. Here's Martinello. Polly's got space on the far side, and he's released by Hisamoto, and there's space to drive into. Slattery, one-on-one with Uwineza again. And the wing-back stands his ground, wins the ball back and wins a free kick. Excellent defending by Philemon Uwineza. The Raiders as well, even as Ikeda just momentarily gives the ball away. We'll come back to that in a moment. Here's Slattery, Uineza once again steps in. But Raiders, of course, if they can get a result of some sort here today, that's going to go a long way because they do have a huge game next week against fellow relegation battlers Para Hills, who, as we mentioned moments ago, are on their way to another defeat at Adelaide City. And they could really look at that game as a huge 6-pointer, Raiders, but any extra points that they can get from today are going to put maybe a little bit of less pressure on that game next week. As for Croydon, they will welcome FK Beograd in their next game, hosting them at Regency Park, which is definitely a big game in terms of the top two. Whipped in towards Passia John by Slattery, who couldn't get a lot of power on the header, and it was easy for Barbaro to sweep up. And Osterstock is actually gone to ground here as a result of that aerial duel. Passia John, of course, is a winger, but due to his sheer size and physicality, he is a threat aerially in the box, making those back post runs. As we just see Jack Osterstock getting some treatment at the moment. Mentioned as well, Croydon were 3-2 winners last time these two teams played back in round 8. Mei Hisamoto scored twice that day. Haven't seen as much of him today. Osterstock looks like he'll be all right to continue. There are a couple of options for Phil Scardino on the bench, though. Alessio Benvenuto did play in that left wing-back role in midweek in the Australia Cup. Matakoulas can't secure the ball. Brazale's pass is overhit. It's kind of been that sort of pass has really summed up most of the build-up play that we've seen today. Uineza launches the throw in long down the line, and Bolmapur does what Bolmapur does, sweeping up any danger. Also got Raiders' Kalen Laird, Marco Mohaha Wenemana on the bench as well. Brazale can't get purchase on the clearance. John does. Toriani sweeps it up. Zafaridis. Osterstock. And Zafaridis asking a lot of his wing back with that pass. Interesting as well, we've got a couple of former Adelaide Olympic players in the Croydon lineup in James Polly and Passia John, who of course were right in the thick of their own relegation battle last season. Of course unsuccessfully in the end, but now at this stage of the season, it's a real 180, being in a winning situation where they're looking to secure a top 2 spot. Interesting, of course, how fortunes can change in the space of 12 months. Klimek to throw it in for Croydon. Thompson initially cut it off. In the end, it's come to Yuto Ikeda. And Uineza is on his bike here, and he might get onto this pass by Ikeda. Linesman kept his flag down, but eventually the second touch by Uineza is overhit, and we are going to see a change here on the far side for Croydon FC. Does look like Andre Carl, number 23, is coming off. And not mistaken here, it looks like it's going to be a first appearance of the season in the RAA NPLSA for Ned Styles, who is going to take his place in the midfield. A little bit of a reshuffle here for George Sonis and his team. Styles with his first touch there, sitting in alongside Aaron Martinello in the midfield. Maybe pushing Mei Hisamoto a little further forward. Croydon with their lineup. Interesting change that by George Sonis. Let's see how Ned Styles goes on his first game of the season. Paul finds Slattery. Hisamoto. Space on this near side for Luke Klimek. Martinello opts to continue the attack down the left. Here's Ned Styles. Bomberpaw. Styles right in the thick of the action as soon as he's come on here. Big moment for, oh no, he's dispossessed there. And eventually mops up his mess there. The midfielder, and it's actually ended up with Slattery on the ball here against Decatur. Oscar Slattery stands it up, cleared by Toriani. And Polly sort of whacks the ball into Slattery and goes out for a goal kick. But interesting of George Sonis to trust the first appearance of the season here to Ned Styles, given the situation. Of course, even though the premiership race could be finished today with a Metro Stars win, Croydon are very much looking to secure second spot on the table. Of course, as we know, the extra benefit of having that first week off in the finals. Toriani drives the ball into Zaganek. Zafaridis. Pressed by two. Zaganek. Zafaridis, and they work out of the situation, Raiders. That's good football. Nyonkuru, good first touch. Uwaneza, one-on-one with Polly. Opts for the early cross. And in the end, once again, lack quality. The crossing from both teams today has not been up to the required level. Well, Croydon also play the two teams that are either side of them in the table right now in the next 2 weeks, with FK Beograd visiting Regency Park, and then George Sonis' team go to the Metro Stars. Unlikely, but you never know if the premiership race is still alive by the time that game comes around. They also finish at home to West Torrens Bacala, who of course had that stinging defeat last night against Playford, 3-0 at Jack Smith Park. Raiders coming forward here now. Nyonkuru, Uwaneza continues his run. And Brazale clears the cross by the young winger. Once again, that final pass is what's separating either team from taking the lead here. Mentioned before as well, Raiders go to Para Hills next week, and then after that it's Campbelltown at home, and then a trip to Adelaide City Park, the final round of the season, to take on Adelaide City. So after Para Hills, it's then two big finals hopefuls, so it would be massive if they can get a win today. Passia John breaking forward off that Bolmapore pass into Ned Styles. Back to Passia John. Raiders just bringing some players across to defend this attack. But in the end, Passia John's cross is perfection. And Luca Trimboli nips in at the near post and taps it in. And Croydon take the lead with really something out of nothing. A patient attack built by Styles and Passia John. And the Raiders players just didn't do enough to stop the cross into the box. which was arrowed in perfectly at the near post. Luca Trimboli stepping in front of his marker for an easy tap in. And Croydon have themselves a lead at the Croatian Sports Centre. And as of right now, the Metro Stars will need all 3 points this evening to secure the premiership against the Mowbray Jets. And right now, for the Adelaide Croatia Raiders, all their good work in this game has been undone by one moment. Osterstock looks to keep this in play. They're actually pushing forward immediately off the kickoff. Zaganek, Passia John with the challenger behind. There's appeals. Daniel Faulkner waves it away, and Croydon are going to come forward again. Passia John. Zafaridis stands his ground. Space for Raiders to drive forward into. Trying to bounce back straight away, Phil Scardino's team. Will be Jack Osterstock to take this throw in. I really do feel like Raiders don't totally deserve to be behind in this game. Ned Stiles with the challenge. He has been excellent coming on for his first game of the season. Passia John's ball was cut off by Toriani. Starts again with his goalkeeper, Vincent Barbara. Polly cuts off that release, looking for Kalen Laird, who's actually entered the game. That change was made most likely during the goal celebrations. He's actually come on for Philemon Uwanaza on that right side. Here's Passia John. Brazale launches it high into the air. Reece Thompson. Blaseka. Space here for Kalen Laird. Nyonkuru. Can Raiders manufacture another opening? Nyonkuru. Looking for Laird, but it's just behind him. And Croydon are going to make another change. And it looks like Junior David is preparing to come on here for the away side. Looking to see who's coming off. And it's Adam Martinello who will take his leave. Most likely we'll see Luke Klimek now pushed into midfield with Ned Stiles. Looks like that's what's happening. And Junior David taking up his natural position as the right fullback. Junior David, of course, an off-season signing. Osterstock wins it in the air. Toriani finds Kalen Laird. Cater's ball's picked off. Good touch by Trimboli. Stiles looks for Slattery. And the pass is overhit. Passia John actually had space on this near side as well. Probably the first mistake that Stiles has made since he's come on. He has been a real injection, positive injection into this Croydon performance. Klimek with a poor pass forward. Here's Kalen Laird. Picked off by James Polly. Also, we'll just have a quick look around the grounds thanks to One World LED and Sportal's scoreboard. There's actually been a red card for Adelaide United. Oh, as Zafaridis' ball looks to find Osterstock, keeps it in. And Matikoulas couldn't get there ahead of Daniel Margush. And Passia John is just down here Maybe trying to stretch to cut off that pass by Zafaridis. Just pulled up a little ginger. As I was mentioning there, Adelaide United are 2-0 up against Campbelltown, but they have had a player sent off in that game at Service FM Stadium, and it is, of course, full-time now at Adelaide City Park. Ended up being 5-1 for Adelaide City against Para Hills. And Raiders, that's a result which they definitely welcome in the relegation battle. Unfortunately, though, they would welcome it a lot more if they were level or ahead in this game. Toriani, once again, with a no-nonsense clearance. Junior David to throw it back in for Croydon. Luca Trimboli, blocked by Toriani. Slattery back on the ball. Polly looks to try a clever one too, but it's thwarted. So only the one change so far, used by Phil Scardino for Raiders, with Kalen Laird coming on for Philemon Uwaneza. Croydon looks to attack again. Trimboli. Styles hits the underside of the crossbar. Goodness gracious me, what a hit that was by Ned Styles. And it bounces away, and Raiders breathe a sigh of relief. That would have arguably been curtains had he found the back of the net there. What a cameo the midfielders giving here. Thumping effort, hitting the underside of the crossbar. Here's Reece Thompson. Junior David steps in. Croydon, it's going to be interesting to see how they manage this last 15 minutes or so. Do they look to go for the kill here? Styles on the ball again. Slattery looks to take on Kalen Laird. Slattery gets by Kalen Laird. It's Oscar Slattery. It's a poor ball cut off by Yuto Ikeda. As mentioning a moment ago, just the one sub used so far for Raiders. They've got the likes of Paul Radic, Stefan Matteo, Alessio Benvenuto, some possible options. Marco Mohaha Wenamana on the bench as well. Slattery once again. Works the angle for the cross. Finds Trimboli. And in the end, very, very easy for Vincent Barbaro. Osterstock does well. But again, it's more of a hopeful pass than a certain one for Raiders. Matakula Asu has certainly worked hard up front all game, but starting to not get a lot of service in this second half. Trimboli flicks it on towards Passia John, who releases Slattery. He might be in here. Oscar Slattery. But the flag goes up on this near side. Our assistant referee, Thomas Gilchrist, deeming that the young winger had just gone too early. That was a massive opportunity had he held his run. Here's Zafaridis. Another poor ball cut off by Passia John. Thompson comes across to win it back. And he does. It's been good today, Reece Thompson. Feels like they are a better side when he's operating in that central area. Of course, Noel Blazeka has been a mainstay all season. Here's Zafaridis. Looks to release Nyonkuru. He might be in here, Nyonkuru. Margush stayed on his line. It's Donatia Nyonkuru. And Bolmapur is in the way, and James Polly just behind play there fell into the net. I think he's all good now. The Croatia chance come. Nyonkuru to swing this in. No, he's going to take it short. Zafaridis. He'll swing it in. And in it is by Matakoulas, and Raiders are level. A perfect cross by Zafaridis. And when there is life, there is hope, and they have hope now of turning this game around. It all stemmed from that pass over the top towards Nyonkuru, which led to the corner. And they've taken it short quickly, and Zafaridis with a perfect cross And Matikoulas was unmarked, and he ghosted in and headed it in. And Raiders are level, and it's probably what they deserve. And now we've got 15 minutes left, if you include stoppage time, to see if we're going to have a winner here. Another long ball. This time Matikoulas doesn't give chase. And Croydon, you think back now to that chance for Ned Styles a moment ago, is, oh, Margush seemed pretty confident. Zaganek almost cut that off. Hisamoto looks to chase the lost cause. And here's Barbaro. Takes no chances. Looks for Kalen Laird. Styles. Croydon looked like they were, maybe they got too comfortable. They looked like they were maybe on the verge of getting a second, and one attack has led to that equaliser. Here's Slattery. And Toriani leaves it for Barbaro for a moment there. Trimboli tried to give chase. Blaseka. Barbaro. Ikeda. Laird didn't read the pass. He went, and it was cut off, but he's going to end up with possession on the throw-in. Croydon are actually going to make a change here. That's why our referee Daniel Faulkner has held up the play. And it looks like it is Santana Barkowski preparing to come on. And it will be for Luca Trimboli, the goal scorer for the away side. That was his 9th goal of the season, Trimboli. It's a fantastic cross it was by Passia John to find him at that near post. Styles slides in on Matikoulas, and he will be shown a yellow card. Been in the thick of everything. Ned Styles, as we mentioned when he came on, it's his first appearance of the season today in the midfield, and he's done a very good job aside from that late challenge. Cloud's starting to get a little bit grayer here, and just as I say that, the lights have kicked in here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Long ball looking for Reece Thompson, but too difficult to bring down. So about 6 minutes of regulation time to play here, and we'll probably get a few additional minutes of stoppage time. This result definitely helps Croatia Raiders more than it does Croydon. Brazale launches the ball long. Ikeda easily brings it down. Polly. Slattery. It was a touch, but initially it looked like it was going to be a Raiders throw, but it's been overturned. So Santana Barkowski, only the 1 goal so far this season. He's added a couple of assists to his name though as well. Here's Styles. Can he be the difference maker with that substitution for Croydon? Oh, Zaganek looked like he was taken now. We're going to play it on here. Here's Kalen Laird. He's got runners forward here. Laird chips it over. Space for Matikoulas. It's Matikoulas. And Junior David sweeps it up. Isaac Matikoulas already with 1 goal. Could he add to his tally? A goal here for Adelaide Croatia Raiders would be monumental in the relegation race. Osterstock to take the throw. Zaganek chips it in. Mapour wins it. Styles clears. Ikeda lashes a left foot at it, and it drops for Kalen Laird. Back to Ikeda. Into Blaseka. Space for Laird to deliver. Towards the back post. Neon Kuri's got space here. Is there a hand? No. Referee waves it away. Here's Osterstock. Passia John wins it. And we play on. And he looks for Barkowski. Toriani sweeps it up. He's done that all day. Barbaro long. Polly can only launch it up in the air, and Mapore comes away with it. He might drive forward here, Bol Mapore. Good challenge by Reece Thompson. Thompson again, but this time he slips, and Mapore still in this central area. Bol Mapore drops for Polly. Wide for Slattery. Is he onside? Slattery into Barkowski! And it's in! And Croydon have retaken the lead. And maybe with his first touch, Santana Barkowski with a huge goal at both ends of the table. Well, it was Polly who won the ball back in the central area, played it wide for Oscar Slattery, and it was a perfect first-time delivery into Santana Barkowski, the super sub, who just guided it in with his first touch. And George Jonas' side are back in front with 3 minutes to play here. Could be a crushing blow for the Adelaide Croatia Raiders, and could be a monumental goal for Croydon in their race for finishing in the top two. And Raiders have made a change in the aftermath of that second Croydon goal, and it is Paul Radic who's come on. And they're definitely going to go all-out attack. It's Radic straight away into the action. And Markush comes away with it. And that was, it was Joshua Zagarnik who was replaced there. Long by Margush. Croydon, only a few more minutes to see this out now. Into Barkowski. Toriani maybe got away with a little bit of a nudge there. Polly nods it down. Barkowski, he can turn and go here. There's space. Passia John's got space as well. Slattery is who he goes to. Oscar Slattery once again. John at the back post. Cross is just over hit. Still with Passia John. Already delivered one assist from this area. Passia John corralled into the corner by Zafaridis. Osterstock comes along to help, and Raiders come away with it. Osterstock launches it forward. Mapore's underneath it. Easy pickings for the Croydon defender. Styles nods it forward. Now with Junior David. The Croydon go for a third to see this game off. Passia John driving inside. Passia John still. In the end, ball trickles to Barbaro. And he's not wasting any time. Launches it to Kalen Laird. Polly with the clearance. Nyonkuru might come away with it. Slattery's trying to show the referee that he's not giving away a foul. And Nyonkuru with the twinkle toes steps away from Barkowski. Raiders decide to take the free kick quickly. Kalen Laird towards Radic. David uneasily clears it over the goal for a corner. As they did last time, the Croatia chance come again. Can they get a second equaliser? Will be Jack Osterstock. This time Croydon seem to be more aware of this short option for Zafaridis. Osterstock drives it into the centre. Hisamoto clears, and Passia John tries to come away with it. Zafaridis holds him up, and he forces him to clear it into touch. So a throw in for Adelaide Croatia Raiders. We are now into stoppage time. Toriani. It's now or never. Matikoulas, the goal scorer. And Styles holds him up. He's only been on a matter of minutes in the second half, but he has been superb. The substitute, and that throw in. It's not going to do the home side any favours. Trickles out for a goal kick. First minute of additional time is up, and we'll see how much more we play. Of course, George Sonis can't make another change to maybe waste time because he has used all three of his sub windows. Hisamoto nudges it forward for Slattery, and in the end, Croydon are going to get a throw. Bartkowski, and they're going to play keep ball in the corner to see this result out. Slattery wins the throw-in. Kalen led. Matikulas isolated up front. Radici comes away with it, and then immediately gives that ball away. Mapor. Akeda to sweep up. Urgency got to increase here for Raiders. Barbaro looking for Osterstock. Great ball, great first touch by Osterstock. Junior David with a strong challenge to stop Osterstock in his tracks. So now Bartkowski and Toriani dueling. Bartkowski. Toriani wins out in the end. Maybe a question of a bit of a shirt pull by the Raiders defender. Junior David to take the throw in. Now 3 minutes in to additional time. Into Passia John. Thompson looked to win it. Styles came away with it, and Passia John again. Hisamoto. Passia John. Excellent first touch. Looking to get by Zafaridis. And it'll be a goal kick. Raiders maybe with one last attack here. Zafaridis launches it towards Laird. And it's well overhit, and Polly can see it out. And we're entering the 4th minute of additional time, and we're likely at the discretion of Daniel Faulkner now. Daniel Margush, with all of his experience, taking as much time as he can on this goal kick. One by Laird. Radic is there. Matikulas. Reece Thompson. David's got to clear this, and he does. Osterstock might get there first. And Junior David, once again, some big defensive stops by him in this last couple of minutes. Zafaridis. Got to launch it long. Bartkowski, the match winner, potentially. Here's Styles. They might get a third here. Bartkowski, is he onside? Slattery's making his move in the middle. Styles is at the back post. Bartkowski and Slattery, and it's 3-1, and the points are going back to Regency Park. What a breakaway that was. 9 undefeated for George Sonis' Croydon. Styles released Bartkowski down the right-hand side, and Bartkowski with a goal and an assist off the bench to set up Slattery. 3-1, and Daniel Faulkner has blown his final whistle in the immediate aftermath of that third goal. Croydon FC victors here at the Croatian Sports Centre by 3-1 in the end. And for a long time in this game, it was 0-0. Looked like we weren't going to see any goals, and then a flurry of goals to finish proceedings. Croydon took the lead through Luca Trimboli equaliser for Raiders came through Isaac Mitokoulas. And then Croydon with 2 late goals. First by Santana Bartkowski, one of his first touches off the bench. And then the sealer, which Bartkowski sets up for Oscar Slattery. And that was all she wrote. 3-1 for Croydon FC. And they will continue their march towards the finals. Adelaide Croatia Raiders still embroiled in a massive relegation battle at the bottom of the RAA NPLSA. That will do for our coverage today here at the Croatian Sports Centre. And we hope you have enjoyed this round 19 fixture between the Adelaide Croatia Raiders and Croydon FC. And enjoy the rest of your weekend.